Are you struggling with tracking time for your tasks or projects within Monday.com? I want to introduce you to 7pace, an app by AppFire that will easily allow you to track time directly within Monday.com. As a user, you can track time on tasks, in timesheets, or on calendars. And as a manager, you can view everyone's log time. There are also dashboards that easily pull together all of this information. Let's jump into this basic tutorial so I can show you how using 7pace can revolutionize your time tracking.
Hi, my name is Tara, and I'm a certified Monday.com partner and the founder of Simpleday. My goal is to help you build powerful yet simple workflows with Monday.com. If you need help with a custom implementation, my contact details are in the description below. Let's jump into today's tutorial and make Monday the best part of your week.
Before I jump into this tutorial, I do want to let you know that this video was sponsored by AppFire. I've spent the last couple of weeks working with the app, playing with the app, testing it out. So any opinions or thoughts or comments that I have on the app are all based on my own experience with the app. We're going to start with the implementation of the app of 7pace. So what you need to do is you need to click on this little puzzle icon called Monday Marketplace, and you need to search for the app. I actually have it showing up here as the first app, but if not, you can just go to the search and search for the app. You need to click on the app. And you're going to see that there is some information about the app. There's a nice video, and you can see here is some detailed information about how the app works, the pricing, all this different information. Feel free to check it out. Now, in order for me to get started, I need to click Install App. And you have the option to automatically install this on all your workspaces or a specific workspace. For this specific demo, I am going to choose a specific workspace that I'm going to install it on. And I just hit install. Here's all the permission levels. Now, once you install the app, you have two options. You either can start with a template, or you can just use the app on your existing things. I'm going to start with the template because I want to show you everything that it has, because there's really a lot of options here when you get started. Again, here you have two different options. You can do the light template, or you can use their full template. So I'm going to actually start with a full template because I want you to see the full capabilities of this. So now we're going to go back and I'm going to choose task management, add app. Now that I have added this app to this workspace called task management boards, you can see that a few new things were added. I'm just going to close these boards because this is what was here before. There were two things that were added. Number one, we have this workspace apps, and you can see there's two boards, one called All Times, one called My Times. And then we have the template that was installed. So the first thing that we see here is a document on how to install the 7pace Timetracker. These are essentially the steps that I'm going through now, but it is a very easy to use, easy to follow document, and it has all of the different steps that you need to use. We essentially did most of these already, but here's just a place to have more information about how everything is set up. Now you can see what they did is they gave us some example boards that we can use during our setup. So these two boards here, I want to start with those. If we would have said that we want it on all workspaces, we would get these boards, which essentially are the same things as this, on every single workspace. And what this is two different boards that have timesheets. One is specifically my time. So here you can see I have my time, the 7pace Timetracker. Obviously, we don't have any information entered into it yet. And here we have one with all times, where as a manager, you get the times of every single person on your team. Now, we're going to have to authorize all of these things. So I'm just going to hit continue. Okay, authorize. Now, as soon as we have authorized everything that we need to do to get started with this app, you'll see here that we have two boards. One is for all time, and this is going to pull in data from all different boards so we can see everyone over the whole company. And one is specifically for my time. Since we didn't enter in any time, there's nothing yet here, but we are going to set some settings, and then I'm going to show you how to use it. So what you do is you go to the gear icon, And you'll see that we are in the app marketplace view. And here we can set our settings for the app. Now, what's really cool is that you can add more details that you want to add to the time tracking. So let's say I want to create a new field. So let's say I want to do a drop down. Just as an example, I can do clients. Okay, meaning that someone would need to enter in a client for each question or each task that they add. So I'll just add this, and I'm going to save my field. So now you can see within the view that we're going to get to, I have this new question. I can enable it, disable it. You can also have if something needs to be billed on and off, or you can delete the field. I'm going to just disable this for right now. And we are going to close this and go back to our board. Okay, so these are the overall boards. Now let's jump into how we actually track time once we've set up our settings. And I encourage you to explore the settings. Now, the template that we got when we downloaded the app has project templates. So we have the project portfolio, which is like an overview of all projects. And then we have 2 lower level boards with specific tasks. Okay. And the lower level boards are connected to the higher level boards. Again, this was just part of the template. So if you want to start using 7pace, what you need to do is you need to open the conversation bubble. And you can see here that 7pace is already added as a view. That was because I used the template. If not, you just hit the plus button and you search here for 7pace. You can buy, installed apps, and it's going to show up. Here it is. So I would just add it if I didn't have it, but it's already here. Now, as I open this, you can see that the view is going to show up, which was exactly what we saw in the settings. Remember this? This is exactly in the settings. And this is what someone's going to enter every single time they want to track time. So first I can choose the person who I'm tracking time for. Then I can either enter an amount, or I can easily choose these numbers. So I can easily just add a number. Like, it's super easy. I can just easily add the amount of hours. If you want to comment, I have the option for billable or not billable if I want, and I can hit save. Okay, so then we get to a screen like this, which shows me on this specific task, I spent 3 hours. Okay, now let's just add time for someone else just so we can see the difference. Let's say Arslan spent half an hour. And now we can see that there's 3 hours and 30 minutes on this task. Now, if we go back to our board with our tasks, so remember we had a column from the template of planned 24 hours, okay? And then it totals the hours spent from 7pace to 3.5 hours. So we have the total time spent, okay? And what we have in the app, this is like what's super cool, is we can see what our plan time is versus our total time. So on a task level, we always have this information. Now, in order to set this up, you can go to the settings, and here you can choose planned hours if you want effort, if you want status. You have these different options to choose. But what's great is then once you go to your high level view, is that it pulls in all of the data. So here we can say, like, this is like the total project planned, this is the total hour spent, and then you can compare this versus the budget. So essentially you're pulling in the time on the tasks and then to a project. Now, let's take it to the next level. Let's go to the time tracker. If I look at my time tracker, so you can see here that on this date, on Friday, I entered in 3 hours and I have my total time. I can sort by week. I can look at a weekly view of my tasks, which is a calendar view, which is really great. And you also have this monthly view where you can have a full view. Now, I also can enter in time here. So if I click add time, let's just say I want to add to this board, let's say this task, I'm going to add another hour, save it. So I can also add time here. If I want, I can move it to a different actual time. So on my timesheet, I can see exactly what I did, when I did it, and how long I did it for. But the app automatically totals everything. So here you can see I spent a total of 4 hours of work today. Now, if I was a manager and I go to the all times, I can see exactly what was done, which board, which workspace, and the amount of time that was logged. And this is based on a specific day. This one is based on the week. If I want, I can also explore different times. You can see there's searches I could do yesterday, I could do last week. I can also group this information in different ways, and I can export all of this information. Understand the basics of how to do the time tracking. I want to show you a dashboard that was also part of the template. So you can see here that this dashboard actually pulls in the information. Here you can see it's plans versus actual, the number of items that were for this task, the average time, the total time tracked. So you can also pull the data from 7pace, from your timer, to a dashboard. So I think this is just a great example of a specific project that we're timing. Again, you have the project overview, you have the project portfolio board, with all of the information, but then that data can also be used for a dashboard. And obviously you can take the dashboard and you can download it or use it for whoever needs to see it. Now that we covered the basics of how to use 7pace and what it does, I want to just share some of my thoughts about the app in general. When I look into using an app within Monday.com, obviously you want to add improved functionality to what you already have. In addition to making sure that you're getting something new that you don't get natively within Monday.com, there's a few things that I always look at to make sure it's a good app. The first is ease of implementation. The second is ease of use. The third is support and documentation. And the fourth is design. So let's review each of these categories, and I will share my thoughts about how I think 7pace has done in each of these categories. The first is implementation. It was super easy to implement 7pace. It took just a couple of minutes. It was implemented right away, and it wasn't complicated. I didn't need to contact support. So I would say there, it's pretty straightforward and pretty easy. The next, I want to talk about ease of use. I think I showed you how easy it was to use it. All you need to do is open a view, start tracking time. You can simply add the number 1, 2, 3. You also can go to the timesheet and see the calendar, and you can easily move things around, make changes. From a manager's point of view, I think it's really easy to use because you can see time spent by your different employees. You can see by project, you can sort by, you can group in different ways. So I think it's really easy to use. In addition to the app itself being easy to use, there's a lot of customization that you can add questions for information you want to track. Like, for example, that I showed you, you can add clients, but there's a lot of other types of questions that you can add to customize the tracker, which I think is really important. The next thing that I want to talk about is support and documentation. As you saw when I downloaded the app, there was a lot of documentation. There's videos. The support team within 7pace I found to be really helpful. And I think that's something really important when you're implementing time tracking, which is key to running your business. And, you really need that information. So it's really crucial that you have an app that you can rely on and you have the support when you need it. The last thing that I want to talk about is design. This kind of fits into ease of use. I don't like apps that don't have a good design. I want it to feel part of Monday. Maybe that's personal, but I want it to feel that it's an up-to-date modern app and that I'm within one system. And you definitely feel that with 7pace. I feel that the design is modern, back to the ease of use, really easy to use. I don't know, sometimes you see apps that just are not like that. And I'm just make your design better because that's going to decide how people are going to use it within their company. If it's not easy to use and it doesn't look nice, you're going to have a harder time adopting it, within your company. So overall, I think 7pace is a great app if you need time tracking on tasks, projects, with the ability to have a manager look at everything in a more holistic view based on person, timesheets, projects. So I definitely recommend you checking it out. And there also is a free 2-week trial if you want to get started and see how it works for you. Enjoy.
Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and remember to subscribe to receive tips and tricks on how to use Monday.com. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.